Budget arena builds coming up. What is going on, Raiders? Soda Dragon here, and today I am giving you some options for arena teams. Now, the teams I'm going to show you I think are somewhat unique. I really haven't seen them used that much, so they're going to be budget builds, so we're not using any Seafies, Duchesses, people like that. So we're going to try to go the accessible route. Hopefully you have the people in these rosters, or at least some of them, and you can substitute in people that you need to fill in the gaps. All right, guys, here is the first team for you, and next I'll get to the second team, but I'll explain how this team works firstly, and then we'll go through the next team in a second. After that, I'm going to go through some arena battles, and lastly, I'm going to show you the builds for all the characters. So how does this first team work? We have High Katoon with that speed lead, 90% in all battles, plus she has a nice turn meter increase, and she has an increased speed buff that she puts on everybody, so she's making sure everyone hopefully goes first. We have Doom Screech in there also for turn meter increase. Plus on that same move, his A2 has an increased defense buff, the strong version. So that will also increase Drexar's nukage strength, which is why we're using him, which we'll get to him in a second. We have War Priest. She has an AoE decreased defense strong version. So not only are we increasing our own team's defense, we're decreasing the defense of the other team. And Drexar here with his big nuke. Definitely his A2 has very strong damage multipliers, if you guys didn't know that. Stronger than Ethos, stronger than Sola, stronger than a lot of people. Now, a lot of people criticize using Drexar for a nuker because he's not Void. And I think that's a kind of funny criticism because Trunda is not Void either. And everybody uses Trunda. So yeah, when you don't have a Void character as your nuker, you do have to be careful for the affinity. You want to get weak hits, but you have the same issue with Trunda. Yeah, you got to watch out, who you're using. Now, that is a really good reason if, for example, you have a Sola, sure, use them. You have Ethos, sure, use them. You don't have to worry about affinity. But if you don't, and this is more budget builds, then yeah, you have to kind of be careful, but that's fine. Once again, you have to do the same thing with Trunda. So this team is the higher damage version of the teams that I'm going to show you. The second one is not as high damage, but there's a certain benefit to that. So with regard to this first team, you want to try to avoid shield set teams or Krisk teams. Now, obviously, you can tell if Krisk is in a team, right? You can see the people in that team setup. He always starts every battle with a shield. But what about other people in shield sets? How can you tell? Well, a lot of times it's trial and error. So characters with a lot of base HP, a lot of times people will put them in shield sets. So for example, Mountain King, really high base HP. So if you fight one in the arena, there's a good likelihood he could be in a shield set. So this team wouldn't be the best for that scenario. Another would be Harvest Jack, very high base HP. A lot of people put him in shield sets. So same thing here, probably not the best bet to use this type of team against, a Harvest Jack type team where they're more likely to use a shield set. A lot of people are putting Necrit the Great in a shield set, so his base HP isn't ridiculous, but it's just a good setup with him to use that shield set. So a lot of people are doing that. This team probably wouldn't be the best against that type of team as well. So what are we looking for? A team similar to this type of team, a speed team, a nuker team, with hopefully, like frail characters, right, that cannot take a hit. We're not looking for tanky teams with this team setup. We're looking to fight speed versus speed, and hopefully we're faster. So here's a second team setup, guys, and who have we switched out? We've switched out Warp Maiden with Hope. Why? A lot of people don't know this, but Hope is an awesome character. Criminally underrated, and her A3 is a buff stripper. So when fully ascended, fully booked, 75% chance to remove all buffs. So now you don't have to worry about that Krisk team, that shield set team. You bring in Hope, yeah, you're going to strip those buffs. At least you have a really high percentage chance to do that. Now, you're doing less damage because you don't have that decreased defense from War Maiden, okay? You do have that increased defense, but not that decreased defense. So this team doesn't do as much damage as the first, but you can strip buffs. So Hope strips them all, okay? She has a 75% chance to strip all buffs, which is really, really nice. So yes, she is a poor man's Ceres, but her kit is actually really good. So if you have her, no problem to level her up, use her in the arena, use her for all sorts of different things because she is a really good support character. Alright guys, for this battle we are going to run the first team that I showed with War Maiden because probably there are not any buffs that we need to strip. It looks like the second team is a speed team like our team. So how does it look like it's going to work? Well, we have Arbiter in the lead. She has a speed aura, plus turn meter boosting, Shatterbones, turn meter booster plus turn meter decreaser against the opposite team. And it looks like we have 2 damage dealers to deal with in Ninja and Kale. So very similar to our team insofar as there are 2 turn meter boosters. So we need to go first. This is not a go second team. All right, there you go. We got the turn meter increase. Now, War Maiden does not need to go after Doom Screech. Doom Screech does not need to go second. He just needs to go. All he's doing is turn meter increase, and he has a buff that he's increasing, that increased defense. So as long as he goes before Drex anytime, it doesn't matter. So here we're going to go with the decreased defense AoE. Good, none resisted. Now we have the increased defense, so we're increasing Drexar's damage, plus we have an additional turn meter boost, which is nice because Drex is not that fast. And we're coming in with Drex's A2 big nuke. There you go. Against Ninja, 119,000 damage. So here's another team, guys. Very similar speed lead to ours with High Katoon. That 19% all battle is really nice. They do have a buff stripper in Ceres, but we don't really have any buffs to strip, at least initially, and if we go first, we don't have to worry about it. They do have Raglan, really nice 2-turn revive, one of the best in the game. So we need to kill her off, make sure she doesn't revive people. And we have 2 Messiah, so I haven't seen this Fox Lady in action yet. This is the real reason I want to fight this team. I just want to see what this is all about. But she has really nice HP burns, stuns, so we cannot let 2 Messiah just go off on anybody. So we need to kill this team as fast as we can. Going first again. It's always a good sign. Decreased defense. Okay, so we got a reaction accessory out of their High Katoon. That may be an issue, we'll see. But if she's the only one left alive, then not a big deal. Really, we want to make sure we kill off Raglan, number 1. So increased defense plus that turn meter boost. All right, let's see what Drexar can do. All right, so we did get that reaction accessory proc from High Katoon, which we were worried about. But look at Raglan. The cool thing about a Drexar's A2 is it does have that chance to provoke. So just in case, like in this situation, where you didn't kill everybody, I mean, you're close, but you didn't kill everybody, you get another turn to do damage. So that's the really good thing about using Drexar as that damage dealer. You have that provoke as a backup. Now, it is sort of chance based because no one has HP burns at the start of the turn. Booked, Drexar only has a 60% chance to provoke, but 60% chance to get an additional turn to do something is really, really good. So absolutely better than nothing. So let's see if we can finish off this team. This Raglan's tough. There you go. All right, guys, it looks like we found a shield team to fight. We got Chris here. Yeah, he's going to have a shield in his kit. Plus, a lot of people build him with the shield set, which is a pretty good idea. We have Tayrel with defense down, strong version. Kandrafon is a big damage dealer, self-veiler. And we also have Genbo the Dishonored, so when he's under an increased attack buff, he can ignore unkillable buffs. Now, it's not a big deal for us. We don't have any increased attack buffs for Genbo to steal. And there's no one on the opposing team that does an AoE increased attack buff. Kandrafon does it to himself, but there's no one that does it for the team. So, kind of weird setup here to use Genbo in this team because they would have to rely on the opposing team having that increased attack buff for him to steal it to start ignoring unkillable. But what they have done, which you guys may or may not have noticed, is they have put Krisk in the lead. So the question is why? Why put Krisk in the lead? He has no aura, right? You could put Tayrel in there, defense in all battles. Why not, yeah, put Tayrel instead of Krisk? Well, it's actually smart. Here's why. When Krisk gets hit, he puts defense down on the attacker. Now, because he gets hit first, now this is all too fast for us to see, but because he gets hit first from an AoE attack, he is the first person in that team, he's going to put that decreased defense and decreased attack on the attacker. Now, that factors into the damage that is applied to the rest of the team. So this actually works quite well. If you put Krisk in the first or second position, depending on who you want to defend, this actually works really well. So yeah, he's actually doing something really smart here. Even though Chris does not have an aura, when that nuker hits that team, technically it's going to be Chris first, and that AoE is going to do less damage to the whole team. So that's what's going on with that Chris in the lead. All right, we're going first. Turn meter increase. Hopefully strip off some buffs. So it looks like we've got 3 out of 4. Not bad. 75% rate, right? Increase defense turn meter. And let's see what the nuke can do. Alright, only one left, Kandrafall. Now, this guy is a big threat. Is he going to take out Drexar? Probably not, even though we have the decreased defense on Drexar. Drexar is pretty tough as a defense-based champ. So even if Kandrafall takes out some people, hopefully he won't take out Drexar and we can kill him off with Drexar. Decrease turn meter. So it took out Doom Screech, but Doom Screech is level 1, so 3-star level 1, so no big deal. Increase shields. Turn meter. Let's see if we can kill him off. Man. Yeah, so he gets that double hit when someone has buffs. So it's almost better to not have buffs when Kandrafall is attacking you. Decrease turn meter. And it should be over. So here's another team with potentially another shield set. So we have Miscreated Monster, good base HP, good candidate for a shield set. We do have the speed aura in Arbiter plus that turn meter boost. So this is a speed team. We have looks like Elhain for the damage. I have Magnar here as well. So HP based nuker. So he actually does damage as well. So it's a double nuker team. We'll see what we can do with this. Can we go first? Yes. We're off to a good start. Now we see one shield on Elhain, so she probably has some sort of divine set. We will try to get rid of that. Alright. Increase defense, increase turn meter. Now we see Arbiter cut in, so to speak, because my team is not speed tuned. So there's a certain way that you can proportion the speed of your characters so people will not be able to cut in like you just saw. It's kind of an advanced thing. We don't need to get into it right now. But yeah, occasionally, yes, people will cut in if there are large gaps in the speed of your characters. Now, having double turn meter booster helps, but still, that's different from speed tuning your team, which is something, if you guys want me to talk about, but it's something a little bit more advanced. So here we have the defense up, and we're gonna go for that big nuke. There you go. Alright guys, we have another speed team here that we're going to fight. Now, they do have a Miscreated Monster, but we're going to go with our straight damage team with Warp Maiden because I'm not going to fall for it again. That last team did not have a shield set with their Miscreated Monster, so we'll see what happens. Here they have Deacon Armstrong. Now, Deacon is ridiculous. He literally replaces 2 people on my team. Now, I have him. I could have used him, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to keep it more, I guess, accessible for you guys. But if you have him, absolutely use him. He has this ridiculous turn meter increase, turn meter decrease plus extra turn A3 that goes into the A2 that does decreased defense strong version AoE. It's nuts. It's nuts. Plus that aura, same thing as my Haikatu, 90% all battles. It's nuts. So Countess Lix, we do have to be careful with her. She has the block cooldown skills debuff, so she gets a turn off. She's blocking everyone's skills. Not good. Magnar here is going to be the damage dealer, the HP based nuker. And Miscreated Monster has those stuns, fears, ally protection. So, very dangerous team. First, increase defense, and it looks like nobody has a shield set. But Deacon, man, he's going fast. Okay, Deacon did resist that defense down. Now, we do have to be careful with Deacon and Magnar. They're not the best affinity for Drexar, so he can potentially weak hit. But here, with no revivers on the team, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Ideally, yeah, we want Magnar to die because he is the biggest damage dealer on the team. Second would probably be Countess Licks, locking out our cooldown skills. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so as I did mention with that weak hit, but I really doubt one Magnar can take out my whole team. He'll probably take out Doom Screech because Doom Screech is level 1, but besides that, I think we'll probably be okay. Big damage. I wish I had Magnar. No, I do not. I really wish I did. There you go. Alright guys, a lot of gold on this opposing team, but we're going to give it a shot. So we have Arbiter in the lead. We know it's going to be a speed team. So yeah, turn meter increase, that revive battle, because our AoE healing, continuous heal, poison cleanse. We have Rosin turn meter decrease. He removes buffs with his A1 and he has defense down, weaken single target. And we have Trundle with the big nuke. So basically, we'd better go first or we are done. Good start. Okay, try to get that defense break on everybody. Nice. Increase defense. So they did cut in. So you saw Arbiter cut in, but everyone else was not speed tuned with her on the opposing team. So she didn't let anybody else cut in. So good, we have Drex here. That big nuke. Oh, swift parry. All right. So yes, there was a swift parry, but notice here that Bad Owl is also provoked. So Bad Owl is not going to put up those continuous heals, cleanse, all that, because he is provoked. As I mentioned, another good reason to use Drex as a nuker. Man, that provoke comes in clutch. And it would have killed him if it wasn't for that swift parry set. So let's just see what we can do to finish this off. All right, winning against a pretty crazy team. All right, guys, on to everyone's gear stats and masteries, starting with High Katoon. So here I have her in a triple speed set. And really for your speed lead in the arena, that's what you're likely going to do. All that matters is speed. That's it. Now you can run a divine speed set as well, but more than likely you're going to have better plain speed gear because that is directly farmable, unlike the divine speed gear. So what are we looking for? We're looking for speed subsets. That's it. So with your speed lead, you don't care about the main stat of the gear. So for example, should it be an HP percentage glove? Should it be a crit damage glove? It doesn't matter what the main stat is. For your speed lead, all you care about is the speed substat. That's it. It can be a flat stat on whatever piece, doesn't matter. All you care about is that speed substat, and of course, speed boot. All right, guys, on to our main stats, but really here, all we're looking at is the speed. That is literally all that matters with your speed lead in the arena. That is it. HP defense doesn't matter. All you need them to do is go first and use their turn meter increasing, turn meter boosting, or speed buffing skill. That's it. That is literally it. So for your go first teams, you don't want long battles, and they're not built that way either. So really you're looking at pushing up that speed stat as much as you can. Now, do you need 344 speed? Well, it depends on what you're going for. So if you're going for upper gold, plat, yeah, 300 to 400, probably closer to 400. You would need that speed lead to be at that speed, plus everyone's speed tuned. Now, if you're looking just at climbing up, bronze, silver, early gold, yeah, you don't need your speed to be this fast. Just make your speed lead as fast as possible. As I mentioned, if you have Deacon Armstrong, yeah, use him. But if you don't, man, she's really good. High Katoon is excellent, and you can use her in a ton of dungeons as well. She is a very good speed lead. But yeah, if you have other characters, you have other legendaries, you have Sifi, Lysandra, whatever, yeah, sure, use them. But if not, then High Katoon makes an excellent speed lead. Just make her as fast as you can. On to our masteries. So which ones of these are relevant to being a speed lead in the arena? Not many. So don't worry about all these different masteries. Really only 2 matter. So the first one here is going to be Lore of Steel. So this will increase that speed bonus you get from those sets. It's just by a little bit, but it's definitely worth it. If you're 1 speed slower than your opposing team, they could all go ahead of you and destroy your whole team. That's how important speed is. Being even 1 speed ahead of the opposing team could make a huge difference, meaning you just literally win. Your whole team goes. That is what that speed lead can do for your whole team. Allow your whole team to go. So Lore of Steel, good for increasing that speed bonus that we get from sets. Here, a lot of people like to take Evil Eye, so with her A1 you can decrease the opponent's turn meter, but this seems to assume that the battle is going to last a few turns. Now ideally with your speed lead, you're just taking 1 turn. You're doing that speed turn meter increase, and that is it. The rest of the team is taking care of the other team. They're nuking them down. They're dead. So ideally with your turn meter booster, you shouldn't be taking 2 turns. So you're not going to be using Evil Eye. But if you want to take it, it's not a bad mastery to take. It's just ideally, you are not even going to get a 2nd turn with your turn meter booster. On to Drexthar. So here I have him in a Savage set and a defense set. So that Savage set ignores 25% of enemy defense. So for damage dealing, this is absolutely huge. Now, there is a new set out called Lethal that is better than Savage set, but by only a little bit. So really the ignoring defense part of the set is absolutely the same. So either one, Savage or that Lethal set for doing maximum damage. Plus we have a defense set here as well because Drexthar's damage is based on that defense stat. So the defense set gives you the biggest increase in defense out of all the sets, even all the forged sets. On to his total stats. So here I have him at 44,000 health. The attack stat is not relevant. So we have defense here 4,200. So Drexthar's damage is based on defense. Pump this up as high as you can. We have the speed 189, pretty slow for the arena, but with two turn meter boosters, this is not too bad. Crit rate 82%, I know, really low, but we have the crit damage at 200%. Remember, for most of your damage dealers, you want over 200% crit damage, really as much as you can get. Try to work in a crit damage glove and get your crit rate from substats. So that's the best way to do damage. We have the debuff resistance 142. We're not too concerned with that, but the debuff accuracy 180. Now 180 is okay as far as Drexthar for getting that provoke off on the enemy nukers. Okay, so on the enemy damage dealers. Now on the enemy support characters, maybe this is not enough, which is fine. But if you can really take out of the fight that enemy nuker, right, that Trunda, that Kandrafon, you can lock them down at least for 1 turn with that provoke if you don't kill them. That's really nice. So put a little bit of accuracy on your Drex because he does have that provoke built in with his nuke. And you saw it multiple times where it really saved the team. So put some accuracy on your Drexthar. On to his masteries. So here the most important one is Helm Smasher. So we have a chance, 50% chance to ignore 25% of the enemy's defense. Now the Savage set is already giving us that 25% ignoring enemy defense. So when this procs, we are ignoring 50% of the enemy's defense, which leads to huge damage numbers. So Helm Smasher is #1 for PvP damage dealing. Now PvE, not so much, but PvP, so arena, tag arena, yes. This is #1. The vast majority of the time. Not all the time, but the vast majority of the time. Now you can look at the other skills here. We do have Ruthless Ambush plus 8% damage on the first hit. Hopefully Drex only hits once. That's a good one. We have Cycle of Violence. So when Drex does a big hit to the enemies, his A2 gets cooled down. So that's nice to have as well, but hopefully we don't need it. And here I do have Blood Shield, so he's going to get a shield buff when he kills enemies, but a better choice would probably be here, Kill Streak. So every person that he kills, he gets an increase to his damage. So this would probably be the better choice. But once again, the most important mastery here, not all these other ones, it is Helm Smasher. On to Hope. So here I have her in a Swift Parry and Perception set. Now, do you need Swift Parry? No, you don't, because all we care about is her speed and her accuracy. So for her to remove buffs, she needs accuracy. And in order to pull off her moves without dying, she needs to go first. She needs speed. So anything you can think of to get her speed and her accuracy up to par. So those could be speed sets, accuracy sets, perception sets like I have. You do not need Swift Parry here. So if you're using Hope for the arena, I would say book out her A3. So put enough books into her, so that she maxes out on this A3, because that is going to increase her chances of removing all buffs, right? So instead of a 50% chance, she has a 75% chance. So definitely worth it to book out the A3. Now, if you get lucky, you get all your books in the A3, you can stop there. She doesn't really need books in the other skills, but really her A3 she does. Going from a 50% chance to a 75% chance to remove all buffs is huge. So definitely try to book out her A3. On to her total stats. So here I have her at 45,000 health. I have the attack at 2,400. I have the defense at 2,500. Speed 309. So speed, this is one of the really important stats that we want to focus on with using Hope in the arena. Make her fast. Crit rate 33%, crit damage 124%, resistance 225, and accuracy 352. So definitely with the speed and the accuracy, you want to bring this up as much as possible to be able to strip those buffs. So those are really the only two stats we're looking at, speed and accuracy. On to our masteries, and as you guys can see, I don't have any, but what would I pick? It would be Eagle Eye. So plus 50 to the accuracy stat. Get that as high as possible, along with the speed, because you're going to need that accuracy to strip those buffs. On to War Maiden, and I have her geared in 2 speed sets and a broken set. Make sure you try to book out her A3 here so you have the highest chance to get that strong version AoE decreased defense. So you're going from 75% chance to 100% chance when that A3 is booked out. Definitely worth it. On to her total stats. So here I have her at 33,000 health. I have the attack at 2,900. Defense 1300, speed 296, so this is one of the important stats that we're looking at. Crit rate 86%, crit damage 134%, resistance 159, and accuracy 343. So very similar with Hope, we're looking at the speed and accuracy. That's really all we care about. We're not looking at using these characters for a prolonged fight. This is a go first nukage type team. So all we need them to do is be fast enough to take a turn, plus for her, put that decreased defense down to allow Drex to do maximum damage. So all we need is a speed and accuracy. All right, guys, on to our masteries. So these masteries here are not arena specific. All right, so don't go and copy these or think you even need masteries for her. You don't. It's very similar to Hope. You don't need masteries for her. But if you do have masteries, which are good to get. So here would be a good one, Lore of Steel. So you may increase the bonus that she gets from those speed sets. Once again, the faster the better, right? And another one is Eagle Eye as well. So if you don't have enough accuracy, you can potentially increase that with Eagle Eye so she lands that decreased defense, which is, as I mentioned, the point of using her in the first place, AoE decreased defense. On to our level 1 champ, Doom Screech. So here I have him in 2 speed sets and a broken set. Now certain characters increase their base speed depending on how you level them up and ascend them, but Doom Screech does not. That's why at level 1 he has the same speed. He's going to be 6-star level 60, 95, that's it. That's why there's no real need if you're going to use him for the arena like I am to level him up. Once again, we just need him to do his A to increase defense and increase turn meter. That's it. That's all we need him to do. If he dies, that's fine. He's done his job. So because he doesn't get increases to that base speed, you really don't need to 6-star and ascend him. Now to use Doom Screech in the arena, like I've shown you, he does not need to be booked at all. On to his total stats. So here I have him at 10,000 health. I have the attack at 635, defense 590, speed 294. So really this is the only thing we're looking at. Crit rate 21%, crit damage 172%. We have the resistance 158 and the accuracy 214. All we care about is the speed. Remember, he's putting up buffs, not debuffs. Buffs don't need anything. You just need to take a turn in order to put that buff up, right? So all you need is a speed. That is it. That is all you're looking at. So similarly with your speed lead, you are just putting speed pieces on him or pieces with good speed substats. That's it. That's all you care about. If this guy dies, whatever, as long as he's put up that increased defense and increased turn meter, he's done his job. And as far as masteries, we have none. You do not need any. Alright guys, that is it for today. I hope this video has given you some new ideas about how to dominate in the arena. Yes, with a level 1 and with a few accessible champs. Notice guys, I'm not using my Sifi, I'm not using my Rhoduses, I'm not using my Hegemons. I try to come up with accessible stuff for you guys. And by the way, if you guys haven't yet, like, subscribe, share, turn on the bell notification, and get me on the test server. Like seriously. I'm going to come up with better and better stuff for you guys faster once I am on there. All right, guys, that is it for today. I'll see you in the next video.